Hey guys, this is Aka here. We're going to be doing some gameplay here on Team Deathmatch, no Sarah Canals. We're supposed to have a few guests today. Unfortunately, some of that fell through due to technical difficulties on my end, being that my laptop is just not powerful enough to run the game capture software and Skype at the same time. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to play some gameplay. I'm going to talk about the things that I said I was going to talk about. We're going to talk about the PS3. We're going to talk about Dust 514, and possibly some of the future of Battlefield as I see it. And, I mean, just so you know, that may not be what you guys agree with, but these are my personal opinions on the subject. So, I mean, we're just going to do that and see where it goes from there. So, as you can see, I am playing Battlefield still after all this time. And people keep talking about how Battlefield's dead and how there aren't many people playing and the quality of gameplay is not as good as it used to be, and about moving on to the new next best thing. And I'll be honest, I just don't see it that way. I just see a lot of good players still playing the game, and I don't know where people get these ideas from that the game is seen its better days, that the better days are behind us already. Fact of the matter is, I still see lots of competitive gameplay, and still lots of competitive gameplay videos out there of guys, you know, ripping it up in this game. And so, you know, at times you're going to hear me go quiet, by the way. That's because I'm concentrating on not getting my ass handed to me, which, I mean, is a lot easier said than done. I spend a lot of time dying in most of these games. And there we go. M26 Dart, which has been patched, but still is a very vicious weapon. So, as I was saying, the future of Battlefield. So, Battlefield 4 is coming up. And they did a lot right in Battlefield 3. Except for the player counts on PS3 and Xbox 360, the game is fantastic. Hopefully what we'll see is with this next generation of consoles, the PS3 and the 720, that we're going to have full player counts in this game. You know, we're going to be able to get the full Battlefield experience, that you're going to have the full number of players on this game that you would imagine to have. You know, 64 player counts should be the norm. Just to give you guys a little background, I came from the world of MAG, and there were a lot more people in that game. You know, you had 256 player matches. These weren't anything to sneeze at either. These were, quite honestly, fantastic matches. I really find it hard to believe that the guys at Battlefield couldn't pull something like that off, just based on, you know, how technically awesome MAG was. I mean, it had a lot going on. To say you can't do it with smaller maps and destruction is kind of, I don't know. And there I went, getting the double knife. Picked up just to get knifed again. But anyway. Like I was saying, so you've got, you know, Battlefield franchise, you've got Black Ops. Black Ops, to me, I play it, I'll be honest, it's kind of stale at this point. It's really just a reskin every year on the same game. They add a few, you know, new components to the game, but really, when it comes down to it, it really isn't anything new. It's just one of those games that I've had a hard time getting behind and really, really enjoying it. But, you know, as far as the future of Battlefield is concerned, I think it's got a bright future. I think that this next game is going to be pretty awesome. If they keep on with what they've been doing, then they've got a good chance of making a very quality and fun to play game. But I am interested in what you guys think. But, you know, tell me what you think about Battlefield. You know, the future of the Battlefield franchise. I'd like to see them do another, you know, semi-futuristic Battlefield game, to be honest. Like they did with Battlefield. Was it 2142? I believe, where we had the big mechs and everything. I thought that was a pretty cool game. I thought it was a cool concept for a game. You know, I played it on PC. I don't think it was ever ported over to console, but it was a ton of fun. As most Battlefield games are. I mean, let's face it, the first-person shooter franchise is gaming right now. You know, there are other games, don't get me wrong, but really when it comes down to it, these are what everybody plays. I mean, Gears of War, Mass Effect, these other games, even, you know, Infamous and all that, they don't get played as long as first-person shooters do. People continue to play these games. We continue to buy the downloadable content. So I don't think there's going to be any lack of quality FPSs in the near future. I mean, I think it's just going to continue from here. We're going to keep getting them. So anyway, we've got a bright future ahead of us as far as, you know, this is concerned. We're going to be seeing a lot more of these type of games and a lot more people playing these games going forward. And I think the next consoles are just going to make it that much better, that much more fun. You're just going to see that many more people playing them than we already have before. So, going on from there, to PS4. What did you guys think? I mean, you've had a chance to really look at it, to see the demo for it, and to me, it looked fantastic. The controller I was kind of worried about, and I'll be honest, I'm kind of worried about that controller. I really don't like it. I would have liked to have seen them go with something a bit heftier, a bit more ergonomic, similar to maybe the Xbox 360 controller. Not necessarily offset thumbsticks, because I really like the DualShock thumbsticks, but something with a little bit more size to it. The PS3 controller is kind of dinky. It always has been. The thumbsticks are a little bit too close together, so sometimes you know, your thumbs might hit, which is kind of annoying. Let's face it, that nothing sucks worse than when you're playing a game and your thumbs kind of click together. But you know, overall, I really thought what they showed was a pretty cool concept. I mean, the fact that we're going to be able to interact with our friends in more of a Facebook style that we're used to, you know, interactive, in that you're going to know the names of your friends is kind of cool to me. I don't necessarily see it as a bad thing. And I see a lot of things as kind of bad a lot of the time. But, I mean, the interactive play, the ability to use it on so many different devices, really, I mean, I'm intrigued by that. I'm not sure how they're going to pull that off. I really hope that they can pull it off. Why do I have the PDWR? No wonder I can't get a kill. Okay. So, I thought I had the P90, which is probably why I'm having so many issues right now. Okay, so there is that guy. I'm going to try and stealth kill in on him. Where did he go? Shotgunners be damned. Oh, I should have got the knife on him. But anyway, so the PS3, or PS4, I'm sorry. I mean, I like the little touch. I like the share. I like the fact that they're going to let us do a little bit of YouTubing on it with these. That seems really cool to me. I mean, being able to just kind of hop into a game, hand the controller over to a friend if things are getting too hard for you. I mean, that would be really cool in a lot of games. Considering the trend with first-person shooters doesn't seem like it's going to end anytime soon, I don't necessarily see that being a huge, like, must-have feature. It's one of those things that, while it's cool to have, I don't think it's going to be that be-all, end-all that everybody needs to have to be able to play the game and have a good time. But, that said, it does sound really cool. It sounds like, being able to hopefully play with, friends or acquaintances. I'd really like the ability to play with people that may not be as super close friends to me and stay anonymous. And then those people that, live up the street, they are really close, my, cousins, my brother, my sister, them see my real name in my profile. And I thought that that implementation in the PS4 looked really like it might be a lot of fun. So, I mean, it's one of those things where I think we'll be having a lot of fun here soon, and I think that that's one of those consoles that looks pretty cool to me. The other thing I want to talk about, really talk about, is this game that I've only played a little bit. Some of the people that were going to be here today had actually played it quite a bit more than me, and were going to provide much better commentary than I could. And it's this game called Dust 514. It's from the makers, from the guys at CCP. They're, just so you know, they're the ones that make EVE Online. And it's an MMO slash FPS, really. I mean, that's the best description I can give for it, is that it's an MMO FPS. It's going to allow you to have a persistent universe. The whole process behind it is it's the far, far future. Your consciousness can be downloaded into a new body. So when you die, there's a reason you respawn, because you're a clone warrior, you're a clone soldier, and when you die, they just download your consciousness into a body and send you back on the battlefield, which I thought was a real neat concept to the respawn in modern first-person shooters. I mean, we all know we respawn, but they never really explain why we respawn. And that explanation, I thought, was fairly plausible for a sci-fi game. What's really unique is the way they do corps, and the way that you're actually playing with real players in EVE over resources on faraway planets. You can basically go on these hunting missions and to gather resources for corporations, and they'll give you a contract, and it's your job as a mercenary to carry out that contract. All your guns cost real money. When you die, you lose the weapon. You have to buy like 500 of a weapon for a big battle, or 100 of a weapon, and if you run out, well, you run out. It's not like the current generation of shooters where if you die, you just spawn back in with the same gun you had. No big deal, no harm, no foul. Which I really think that's a cool concept. I really want to see where they're going to go with it. I like the idea that this hopefully will be ported over to PS4 and and other consoles. I really would like to see some inter-console play in this next generation. After seeing the specs for the PS4 and the Xbox 720, they're so similar that there really is no excuse this generation as to why we couldn't play together. All of us play together. I think the biggest barrier to that is going to be PSN and probably the PSN and probably the PlayStation Network will be the big barriers to this one. Oh, so yeah, I think that's going to be the biggest barrier. Those two things. Sorry, I was trying to get that kill, but biggest barrier is going to be PSN and honestly Xbox Live. You know, they're going to try and stop us from playing together, and that kind of sucks. I'll be honest, I'm kind of console agnostic. I bought the PS3 for the same reason most people did. It had the Blu-ray player, and all my friends were playing on PS3 at the time, so it kind of went hand in hand. It was a no-brainer for me. I know other people, you know, bought different consoles for similar reasons, you know. It's one of those things, and I'll be honest, I'm saving up now for my PlayStation 4 and my Xbox 720 so that I can play with all my friends and people I meet on YouTube and basically anybody I want to. And let's be honest, that's the real draw. That's really what pulls us in, our friends. You know, who wants to play without friends? We all want to play with our friends. That's always the goal. Play with your friends, have fun with your friends. And I think that Sony might have it right this next generation with what they displayed. It looks like they really are going after that, you know, hey, let's get you in there, let's get you playing with your friends, let's get you having fun with your friends. And to me, that it's always been such a big component of gaming for me, my friends, that I can't see us doing it any other way. I mean, it really is important to play with your friends, to have fun with them. So I really hope that that's where they go with this current generation. But I don't know if that's where they'll go. I really do hope that's what happens. So this kind of segues into the other topic that I wanted to talk about, and that's, you know, your history with gaming. Like, where did you come from? What was your first experience like playing multiplayer? And I'll be honest, the first game I played multiplayer was actually like Sega Master System, I think. Back in the day, I think it was Comcast or one of the cable companies had this cartridge basically for the Sega console, which you had like a cable thing on the back of it, and you could play Street Fighter against other people who had this. And there weren't a lot of people that had it, but there were enough to make it fun. And, I mean, I got to play against some folks, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, that was my first thing, playing anonymously against, like, somebody else who probably lived up the street and whose parents were really into technology and bought them this Sega console. And it wasn't even my house. It was a friend's house that I did it at. And it was so much fun, but ooh, snipers. Oh. So, yeah, it's one of those things that really, to this day, appeals to me, playing online with friends. But that was my first experience. And then my second experience was actually, you know, at a friend's house. We were playing, I think it was Secret of Mana. It was a role-playing game. And he picked up the second controller and took control of the second character. And this was on, like, Super Nintendo. And up until that point, that had never been done before. Like, you know, role-playing games were strictly single-player up to that point. And I remember having kind of an oh my god moment, you know. We can play these games together, we can have fun together, and it was mind-bending. And I think we're kind of on the edge of something new with that, going back to kind of the old school couch gaming with the PS4. And that's that ability to kind of say, hey, I need help, here, you want to play with me? Take control of my character. And being able to play some of these turn-based games, actually, you know, some of the old school style turn-based, like, platformer games, like Mario used to be. You know, you played as Mario, you died, player 2 got to play for a little bit, and then you die, and then player 3 would get to play for a little bit, and then they'd die, and it was kind of this turn-based thing. And I'm looking forward to it because we haven't had anything really like that in so long that it's going to feel new again, and which is awesome, you know. But anyway, so carrying back and forth on subject to subject, online role-playing games. They've already said there are going to be a couple for the PS4, which, I mean, yeah, that sounds kind of cool. I'm just not really sure how that's going to go over. Massive multiplayer games have a history of not doing well on console. I mean, let's face it. PS2 had, what was it, Final Fantasy 11, I think, and that really, I mean, people played it, but, you know, those things are more designed for PC, where you have the keyboard, you have the mouse, you have the ability to type and the hotkeys, and I just don't really know how they're going to pull that off on a console with the limited number of keys that we have and the you know, your limited interaction with the console. Just doesn't seem like it's going to be very easy for them to pull that off. And I kind of hope that I'm wrong. I kind of hope that they are able to pull it off seamlessly, because, you know, let's face it, the more games you have, the better your console does. And, you know, the more consoles there are, the better, simply for, you know, from a perspective of, you know, now there is a bit more competition. The more competition we have, the better games we get. You know, back in the days of there only being a Street Fighter, you know, the competition wasn't very steep, so we didn't have a whole lot of other fighting games. So that was it. And, you know, then came, what was it, Art of Fighting, and then a few other games. And really, that made the genre better. And, you know, it's just like cars, just like anything, the more competition you have, the better. I'm really excited about the Steam Box. Although the Steam Box is more a specification for PCs to run, you know, Steam flawlessly than anything else. I don't know how that's going to, in the end, all play out. I really hope that it plays out well for Steam, because I really like Steam. I don't have Steam, but I really like it. And I think it would be really cool for a Steam Box to do well. But oh. So, yeah, back to what I was saying. The Steam Box looks pretty neat. I like the idea of a Steam standard. I'm not really sure, because they didn't say much about the discs, and I keep seeing different rumors about the cost of PS4 games going to be close to $100, which, if that's true, I don't know if I'll be playing. That goes into the realm of being just a bit too expensive. For me. For my taste. I mean, that's a pretty expensive game. You know, that's a lot of money you're going to waste on games. At $100 a pop, you know, I don't know how many games I'm going to really own just because of the price. You know, they're going to be so damn expensive that it's going to be, you know, cost prohibitive for me to play a lot of games, you know. Hopefully that's not the case, though. I mean, hopefully they keep it around the current gen. $60, $65, I think, is about, you know, what people are willing to pay for a console game. I mean, unless the downloadable content is included, unless they stop doing things like that, I don't know if people are willing to pay that much for a game. You guys are going to have to tell me. I mean, are you willing to pay that much to play a video game? Are you willing to pay $60 a pop to play your favorite video game. I mean, is that something you're willing to do? Oh, come on. All right. So, yeah, I mean, that's something you guys are going to have to tell me. Are you willing to pay $60 a pop to play, you know, or not 60, $100 a pop to play games like Battlefield? With no, I mean, mind you, there won't be, all the downloadable content won't be there. They're still going to try and sell you expansion packs, which is expensive. I mean, let's face it, if you bought the expansion pack for Battlefield 3, which I'm playing, it cost you $60 if you bought it on the console. That's another game. You know, you paid for 2 games. That was $120 that you spent on Battlefield in the hopes that you'd get to play a fun game. And it is. It is fun. It's been worth every cent for Battlefield and Battlefield Premium. But the fact of the matter is, I paid twice for this game. And then hopefully the other thing we'll see is the loosening of the restrictions that Sony has placed on PSN. So right now you can pick up Battlefield 3 Premium. If you already bought it in one of the expansions, you get a massive discount, which is pretty awesome. I'm sure some of you that play have seen this advertised on Battlelog. And I mean, it sucks because some of those of us on the console who bought expansions, if we wanted premium, we still have to go out and buy it at full price. We don't get the discount, which is, I mean, I'll be honest, that's kind of fucked up. I mean, I paid for 2 of the expansion packs, and then I bought premium after. I spent a shitload of money on this game in comparison to, you know, those people that play PC. I think the PC pricing was a bit more fair. The other thing is PC components are getting cheaper again. I mean, if, as everybody says, the Xbox 720 and PS4 are going to cost around around $600 a piece, for an extra $100, you can build a killer gaming rig that's going to outpace what the PS4 and the Xbox 720 can do. I mean, so they're reaching that area where they have to really figure out pricing-wise what they're going to do, how they're going to price their console to be competitive. Because as it stands, it's not going to be as competitive as it was in the market. I mean, PC gaming has come down in price. Also, you're seeing a lot more developers make things for PC. Steam has really revolutionized the way that PC gaming is played. So you have this ability to pick up games the way that only consoles did in the past. I mean, it's easy. And then they do these Steam Fire sales, constantly doing the Steam Fire sales, where you can get, you know, Steam games for dirt cheap, which is pretty awesome, really. Oh, somebody has got my kill. It's one of those things where, I mean, oh, that should have been a double kill there. I hit him dead in the chest, but okay. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that I'm kind of torn about in this next generation. I know the PS4 is going to be coming out this Christmas, or Christmas season. So, I mean, we're talking realistically October, November, because they're going to want to get this thing on shelves quick enough for everybody to buy one for their kid and, you know, and get that sale. Let's face it, that's what they're looking for, is that money. They wanna make that money. So we'll have to see when it comes out. I'll be honest, I've also seen some pictures of the controller after the fact, and it looks pretty sweet. I mean, that looks like a nice controller. The angles they showed it from during the 2-hour presentation were pretty shitty. It made it look horrible. And, I mean, I still wish they'd revamp it some. The thumbsticks could stand to be a little bit further apart.
Pick up your ammo. It's over here.
You know, we could have... I don't really care for that touchpad. I think it's going to suck, really. Oh, damn. Got mowed down. But, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see where it goes. I really think that it'll do pretty well. I think there's room for these high-end consoles. And let's face it, I mean, they wouldn't do this if they weren't making money on it. Sony has made money hand over fist on the Blu-ray format. So, and part of their strategy when they did the Blu-ray format is, yeah, we'll take a little bit of a loss on the console, but, we'll make that money back in Blu-ray sales. Let's face it, how many people do you know who have high-def TVs who don't have a Blu-ray player? I can't think of many. So, Sony's making their money. They are making their money. Regardless of, what the Xbox fanboys say and what the Sony fanboys say, they're making money on these game consoles. And they're making money on the format, too. I mean, the rumor is that Blu-ray is going to be available on the... is that the Blu-ray format will be available on the PS4. Not Blu-ray, PS4, I'm sorry. Blu-ray format will be available on the Xbox 720. That's, like I said, that's the rumor. Hopefully it's true, though. I mean, I don't really want to buy another console and not be able to play my games. I like playing my games. Or not my games, my movies. I want to be able to watch all my movies. It sits front and center in my living room. And so for me to kind of give that up it's kind of crazy. Oh, but I don't know. I kind of want to know what you guys think. Do you think that the PS4 is going to be champ in this next console war after having seen, that 2-hour special where they talk about all the stuff it can do and how awesome it's going to be and how great it is and how it can slice bread and get you chicks and all that fun stuff, which, I mean... Let's face it, it was a hype session. They're going to do what they can to make you think this thing's the best thing since sliced bread. But do you think it's the best thing since sliced bread? Or are you going to go out and pick it up? Are you going to play on it? I want to know. Write a comment down below. Respond with the video. I'll give them a watch. Put your channel up here. I'll go and watch that too. I really am interested in